Welcome. I'm so honored that you're joining me today for season 3 of Reclaim Your Life. I'm Duane, the host and the producer of the show. I'm a life recovery coach, but really I'm a transformational guide for women, helping them reclaim their lives and discover their authentic voices. This is the 3rd season of Reclaim Your Life, featuring leading visionaries and heart-centered women whose passion through their work is to serve others and share their gifts to make the universe a better place. Each guest will share how they have transcended extraordinary challenges, loss, and in some cases trauma, to become the women they are today. And I'm so honored because we have a sizzler today, and we're going to talk about a very hot topic, something that women kind of go, oh, I don't know if I can do that. And this lady has nailed it. She's known around the globe for her work. And today we're featuring Allana Pratt. And she's been featured on CBS, TLC, and Fox News. She's a coach to celebrities, a cum laude graduate of Columbia. And Allana's a single mom who battled an internal war of body shame and sexual guilt that destroyed her confidence, her joy, and her softness. Now author of 4 books, including the Reluctant M.I.L.F, she pole dances for pleasure, and she knows when mama's happy, everybody's happy. She inspires women to embrace their sacred, erotic nature to attract all the love and attention they choose, and heal men's emasculated hearts, cure their nice guy, and awaken their noble badass honoring of women. Thousands flock to her sexy, empowering show, Intimate Conversations Live. She's here to end sexual violence on the planet, have stupid amounts of joy as a mother, and ooze sensuality and inspire reverence for our exquisite sexual nature. Allana, God bless you, girl. I've been dying to talk to you.
Oh, I'm so touched. I just want to hug and kiss you. You're so amazing. You got such presence. You're so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Wow, what an honor to be on season 3.
Yes. And, you are so recognized in your field as a leading expert on the subject that we're going to talk about today, that a lot of women, they can't go there. They're afraid to talk about their sexuality. They're hung up on body image.
Yeah.
But you're empowered today, God bless, but you weren't always in that place of confidence and sexuality and embracing yourself and your goddess lifestyle and whatnot.
Yes.
So take us through your journey a bit. Take us back to when Allana didn't feel so good and when you were really challenged.
It was a long time of not feeling good, let me tell you. So I'm 45 today. I'll take you back to, I guess, about 18, 19. I had this dream. I hated college. I didn't want to be a pharmacist like dad, didn't want to be a teacher like mom, so I was taking business. I just hated it. And I wasn't doing very well either. And so I was in a pageant. And I was in this small little town in Canada, and I was doing the peanut butter wave, and I was meeting all these entrepreneurial women who were living their dreams. I'm like, I can do that. And so what I ended up doing was quit college. My parents were horrified. My Uncle Phil drove this big 18-wheeler semi to LA every single month, and I hopped on his semi, and I arrived in Hollywood to be a dancer. And it was a rude awakening. I literally was outside downtown Los Angeles crawling over the homeless people to get in line to get my little, Social Security number so I could actually get a job. But then they're like, no, you're Canadian. No visa. No job, baby. So I had $40 left and a visa to go home, like a credit card to go home to admit my failure. And I got a job dancing in Japan. And so I hopped on the plane all the way there, and I was dancing in this show with all these girls, and they were a bunch of pretty much drunk Japanese men at this hot spring hotel where we were. And there was a choice, Mal, whether I could decide I was a piece of meat or a work of art. Their opinions were probably I was a piece of meat. But I realized in that moment as I was dancing with my girlfriends that nobody gets to decide who we are but us. And I didn't know what I was doing at the time. But there's this ancient practice, I think it's Zen or Buddhism, it's called Tonglen. And the monks will sit and they will breathe in the pain and suffering of the world. Something will happen within them because they're at that high vibration, and they will exhale out love and compassion. And they do it for months in, in the Himalayas. So there I was dancing in this club in Japan, and I was breathing in these men's judgment, looking at me like a thing, not a goddess. And at first you could resist it, but then who has the power? They do, right? So instead I leaned in. I leaned into the energy, and I breathed it in. And I was dancing, and I said to myself in my head, I am a goddess, thank you for noticing. And I exhaled out that energy, and you know what happened? They sat up. They started bowing. They started treating me like the goddess. And I'm like, can I swear? Holy shit. I said,
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's good.
I have a bit of a mouth. But I'm like, holy shit, I'm in charge. Here I was always giving men the power. I'm in charge. And so I started, when I would go to Thailand for 6 weeks, and I would practice walking up and down the beach. And I could either go, oh, everyone's looking at my body. What do people think? Am I good enough? Oh, she's thinner than me. Oh, like blah, blah, right? All in my head, giving my power away. Or I could breathe in everything, not just the judgment of people, if it was there, but also breathe in the sunshine and breathe in the breeze off the ocean. I could just breathe it all in. And again, I could affirm, I am enough. I am a goddess. I am beauty herself. I am lusciousness itself. I am love itself. I am radiance itself. And then exhale it out. And I made a commitment. I'm going to walk up and down this damn beach until I no longer am concerned that people are looking at my cellulite. I'm just not going to live like this any longer. So that was back in my 20s. I moved to New York City. I met my first husband. He was this Wall Street dude. Met him in Japan. We moved to New York, and I hope that's not him.
I apologize. I thought that was shut
like
off.
No problem. It's no problem. My cat sometimes jumps up and says hello, so just in case. But here's what happened. As soon as we were in Japan, when we were in Japan, he thought it was really empowering that I was loving my body and dancing and all of this. But as soon as we got back to the States on business class, flying back to New York City, are you going to wear that? I've been wearing this for 3 years. And he goes, well, you can't wear that there. They're going to think something. And I'm like, what? And then as I began to be introduced to all these very rich people with all these, model girlfriends, supermodels and everything, they're like, so what did you do? Oh, I was a dancer and a model in Japan. What kind of dancer? And I went, oh, all of a sudden I allowed their shame and their discomfort with their sexuality to glob onto me. And this big, expansive woman kind of went like this. So I decided I would just be smart, and I would go to Columbia and graduate cum laude and be the good girl and do it right. And we got married, and I got the big ring, and I got the big house, and I did it all right. And I would hide in the closets meditating. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't be myself. And by the time we moved out to Los Angeles, we started going to therapy, and it wasn't working because I was like dying. And my sensuality, I would go to these different dance classes in LA, and I would find my spiritual people, and I'm like, I'm okay. There's more to life than Prada sales. I just know there is. And so we ended up, ending our marriage. And I remember him saying, he wrote me a letter after I'd left, after we were divorced. He had met somebody else, and he goes, I never knew you were the one bringing magic to our relationship. He goes, you loved the cleaning lady just as you loved the head of the hotel. You were aware of bringing light and love and joy and goofiness and radiance everywhere we went. It's not happening anymore. And I thought it was me, but it was you. My new wife is lovely, but she doesn't do that. And it's sad to me because when we women are looking to the outside for approval, for acceptance, for safety, for everything, we're in a constant state of manipulation of others and a constant state of abuse of ourself. Oh, I should be more like this or less like this. Right? It's abuse in both directions. And what's possible when you come to peace with who you are and you allow all of everybody's stuff just to come in and just affirm, I'm enough. I am beauty itself. You no longer need another's approval to be. You've got your own back. maybe I don't want to show your audience my cellulite, but I'm okay with my cellulite. Like I'm okay. This is me. I'm 45. This is what it looks like after a baby. Like I'm not going to apologize for myself anymore. And if the only reason you like me is I look like a Barbie doll, well, go meet a Barbie. I'm a real woman. I have feelings. I get scared. I get angry. I also am really confident and amazing, and I have courage to show up and try things. And if I fall down, I'm going to get back up, whether you believe I can or not. You know, like that internal sense is so important for a woman. What were you going to say?
Why do you think women are so insecure about their sexuality, about their body? Is it the way we're raised? Is it the media? What do you think, Allana? What creates that absolute fear in us that physically we're not attractive enough or sexy enough?
Well, a lot of media and religion that would trickle down into parents tell us that sex is bad for sinners. And except, how did everybody get here? Sex. Shh, don't tell anybody, right?
Right.
Like, you know, it's this horrible, dirty thing. Don't ever do it. But then when you're married, you can. Like, what? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And so I think, this is just my opinion. I wouldn't say it's the truth, but my opinion is that there was a time when it was a more matriarchal society where the women ran the show. And we were more in sisterhood, and we were collaborative and cooperative, etc. Then we got really powerful. Let's even say the Venetian courtesans, right? And we were the educated ones, and we were the ones that could dance, and we knew everything. And the King of France needed to talk to us of what to do about the ships. Like, we were the shit, and we were revered. And then the Inquisition, you know, let's blame the dirty sex of it all. Let's cut off her head and burn her at the stake. Well, you know, women, we've gone through quite a lot, really. And really, it's our sexual power that's been misunderstood, because most people think sexual energy is only for copulation, only for intercourse, right? Like, that's it. Sexy equals intercourse. But what if we could redefine the way we think of sexy as a way of claiming back the sacredness and reverence of it? Because if you open it wider than just copulation, which is great, by the way, you know, kinky, naughty, it's awesome. But what if our sexual energy was also our creative life force energy? It's what birthed this show. It's what birthed writing a book. It's what birthed a child. It's what birthed, you know, great works of art. Georgia O'Keeffe, right? You know, like, even in her oldest age was like the most creative. Like, it's this incredible creative energy. What if it also, sexual energy, is healing and caring and tender and kind? And it's what, you know, that warrior wants to come home from the battle and put his head on the breast of the queen. That little, you know, little boy or little girl out in the playground and somebody was mean, they want to come in. What if that's sexual energy too, when your girlfriend says, he left me for someone else, and you hold her? What if our sexual energy is also our capacity to be healers on the planet and to be creative inspirations, generating more good on the planet? And what if our sexual energy and our sexual likeness in our body and orgasm and all of that is meant to nourish our life, our body, our vitality, our youthfulness? Let ourselves have this sexual energy to make our bodies healthy and our skin dewy, and it's exercise, and let us be strong, and let us learn to really receive the devotion and adoration of a partner that wants to allow us to let go so much, hold space for us so much, that all of our spinning and trying to do it all day just relaxes, and we can become one with the universe. What if that's like the entirety of what you can now think of when you think of sexual energy? It can be 24/7. It can be all day long. You can be making love with life. Life, what do you have for me today? Bring it. Like, that's life penetrating you.
We need to re-educate women, just what you said, Allana, that
Yes.
sexual energy is really life force energy. And you're so right about the creativity. I mean, the sexual energy comes from that second chakra.
Totally.
And it is part of the life force.
Yes.
It's not just for copulation.
Totally.
And how do we educate women? I mean, you're doing it now, but how can we touch so many more people
Well,
and let them know that?
Yeah, well, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing my best. Thank you for
Hmm.
interviewing me so I can tell more people. We can write books. I go speak at colleges and tell
Hmm.
women that they are works of art. This is their sacred temple. My reality show, I just got funding for the pilot. So,
Oh,
so there's
fabulous.
another avenue to share more
Hmm.
about what this really is.
When will
It's
that all
just
be happening?
I start filming it. I'm signing the contracts actually this week, so I'm starting to film it next week, and I'll keep you posted. And
Oh,
then we
please do,
just
when it's going to come out, when it's going to be released and everything.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
exciting. Oh my
Just the pilot.
gosh.
So you sell the
Wonderful.
pilot to the network. It's like a process, but
Hmm.
I'm showing up. I'm doing it. So it's about staying in the conversation and especially telling our little girls. Like I have a son. I tell him what true sexual energy is. It's for men. It's for women. It's for people. It's for everybody, and it's not to be shamed. And so I remember even speaking with my boy. I'm like, so how do you feel about your penis, Mom? I go,
How
no,
old is
really?
he? How old is he?
He'll be 12 in a couple
Oh,
weeks.
okay. So this is sensitive conversation for a 12-year-old.
Like last year they had the talk at school.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's so important to me because I work with all these clients that are literally ashamed of their body parts. They're literally ashamed of their normal, natural, healthy desires.
Mm-hmm.
And they think they're wrong and bad. And then they shame themselves. And then their light goes down. And then their creativity goes down. And then their bank account goes down. It's all connected. Okay. Confidence in who you are is definitely an inside out job. So I just wanted him to be sure that I go, how do you feel about your elbow? Pretty good. How about your ear? Pretty good. How about your penis? Mom. I go, how come? How come you don't love your penis just as much as you love your elbow? And so I said, everything in the way that makes you shame your penis, will you destroy it and create it and let it all go? Yes, Mom. I go, okay, good. So, because I want to be that askable parent,
Mm-hmm.
the one that our kids can come to and talk to about their desires, because we got to keep them safe with the diseases out there, right? But we can't terrify them so that they never enjoy it and that they think it's somehow bad when it's so beautiful. But we need to teach them how to do so responsibly when they're emotionally ready
Mm-hmm.
and honoring of each other's bodies, like the whole thing. I love talking about this. And for women, it's very important that we handle this because we'll hold on to weight if we don't love our bodies. We'll be trying to diet, but it won't work because it's our self-hatred of our body. I remember when I coached Lisa Gibbons through Dancing with the Stars. That was one of her first exercises, standing in front of the mirror. I'm like, okay, what's the conversation? She goes, I hate my thighs. I go, great. Any chance they're going to change? Probably not. They're just saying, screw you. You're talking to them like that. And I'm like, so let's look at it from these are the thighs that have helped you walk through all the different TV jobs, give birth to 3 children, and open up Lisa's Place, helping caregivers. These thighs walk you through life. Can we send some compassion to them, some love to them? And then she started to really get that her power is in her sensuality, that it's her radiance that lifts people. When she started to like, even her walk was just kind of like this, and it sort of she got a little bit more, I mean, not too much, but just appropriate. So there's a class to our sexuality when we hold it as reverent. But there's a manipulation and sleaziness, or I'm gonna control you with it. If we have no reverence for our sexuality, we use it like a commodity. So you have to hold your sexuality as sacred and reverent for others to treat you like the goddess that you are.
What do you do? There's two things I want to talk about here that you've brought up that are, I think, important points. One is that young girls today maybe are a little too concerned about their sexuality at too early an age. What happened to being a little girl? You don't see them anymore. These kids at 12 look like they're 20. What's going on?
Well, let's look at what they're trying to emulate and what people that they're emulating believe in sexuality. Like, do you really think the stars that they're following have a reverence for their sexuality? Mm-mm. They know damn well how to manipulate with it and make money with it, right? And I have, what do I have? Compassion for that, because it's sure as shit better than having your head cut off and being burned at the stake. Okay? So, but to me, that's the flip side of that. You're not going to kill me. I'm going to kill you first. Or you're not going to manipulate me. I'm going to manipulate you first. You think sex is a weapon? Well, I'm going to make it. I'm going to, control you first. It's not an honoring and a reverence of it and a lifting up of a man into his nobility to treat us and adore us and devour us as the goddess. It's a lower vibration of getting and taking not this beautiful contribution, simultaneous contribution of a figure eight that it can be when you're truly making love, as opposed to fuck, right? So what's unfortunate is those girls are watching the manipulation of sexual energy and the power that comes with it. Let's be clear. We can have a man right here if we manipulate with our sexual energy, right? But then who is he seeing us as, right? He's not valuing us. No. He's been emasculated into his lack of power to need you, so then to take you. It's all messed up. So if we could have more role models that understand the sacredness and the true definition of sexual energy, and start to really show women, young girls, to honor their bodies and to honor their sexual energy, all of it, their healing, their creativity, and their beauty, and their desire to wear mascara for the first time, etc., all in a more natural evolution, I think they'd be in a lot better shape. However, we're also, this is kind of a totally different subject, but we're also mixing in, all of our foods are filled with horrible crap, hormones, pesticides, all these things that are making their sweet little bodies develop way faster than you and I developed. So they're dealing with boobs when we didn't. They're dealing with periods when we didn't. They're dealing with hormones to want to be with a guy way earlier than we did, and that's the food chain's problem. And we as parents need to be sure that we make sure our kids are not eating that crap.
Who do you think's a good role model?
Oh God, I was trying to like search my mind for one as you were asking, and so I was talking about this. God.
By the way, Lisa Gibbons won the challenge with Donald Trump. She won that.
Did she? Good for her. I didn't hear that. That's awesome.
She beat Geraldo. She's got some real power going on. She's a sharp girl.
She's an amazing lady. It's such an honor.
I think she's a good role model. I really do. Very classy, elegant, appropriate in attire, appearance, behavior. I'm saying she really presents herself beautifully. Who else do you like?
Well, she does so behind the scenes too. I've seen her and how she interacts with her kids and stuff. She's a great lady. Linda, do you know Linda Evans?
Yes.
I love her.
Yeah.
She's like my adopted mom. She is like consciousness itself, like judges nothing, allows everything, and her beauty, like it extends like this vastness into her home and all that she touches. She's super classy, super heartfelt, and driven, to create and give, and I love being around her. Erin Gray as well. I'm sorry, not Linda Evans, Linda Gray. I'm sorry, Linda Gray.
Yes.
Sorry, Linda Gray, Sue Ellen on Dallas. So Erin Gray and Linda Gray. Erin Gray is also a friend of mine, and she might have started out as the L'Oreal, because I'm worth it, or the hottie in the spandex, way back in the day. And she's very much owned the reverence of her beauty, very much so, and brings forth the nobility in men around her. She's a Tai Chi and Qigong master as well, so she really understands ancient energy and flow. There's a TEDx talk that she's given on that you might want to research. And I've seen her as a mother, and she's together. She's a very successful businesswoman as well. Yeah.
What 3 steps could a woman take today to tap into her sexual energy in an authentic way, to start to appreciate and embrace herself as a woman? What 3 suggestions would you give?
The first one's just a funny one. Throw out all your granny undies. Sure.
I love it.
The very first thing you do in the morning is you adorn yourself like a goddess. Whether that's the way you put cream on your body with consciousness to touch yourself with grace, underwear. You don't have to be done. Like do whatever's natural for you, but like start the day adorning the goddess. That's very practical. 2, you're going to have to face the truth of how you feel about your body, and stuffed emotions create cancer. Okay. My mom died at 60. Let's not have anybody else do that. So, I want you to light a candle every night for a week. If you get through it faster, great. If it takes longer, great, but a week, and look at yourself in your underwear by candlelight, and don't try to be nice to your body. Just be real. You might go, oh God, that stomach. But instead of resisting that that's what you're saying about your stomach, just be an allowance of, wow, look at me judging my stomach right now. Wow, wow. Okay, I'm just going to be an allowance of that. Wow, I actually kind of like my shoulders. Okay. Wow, I just can't even look at my thighs. I won't even look. Okay, I'm just going to notice that I can't even look. Okay. And if you keep doing it for 7 days in allowance of your authentic desires, judgment, whatever it is, something will happen where you and your body will become no longer enemies. There's a moment of communion, a moment of yin yang, just a moment of like surrender, where you're like, okay, we're in this together. Might as well start being friends. And then you can take it to the next level of praise and starting to see what you might consider before as fat as voluptuous.
Appreciation.
Totally. But you can't go from 0 to 60 and just go, oh, you're just so hot. It's like sprinkles on top of an ice cream cone of crap. Like it's inauthentic. It's not going to work. So you really have to go through the deeper part first. That would be 2. And 3, depending on your age, you might want to just make sure your hormones are working right. Because sometimes our libido has nothing to do with our emotions. It's very a physical thing. So make sure that you're exercising and you're moving and all the parts are flowing. So be responsible with the more Western medicine side as well. And when's the last time you self-pleasured? You know, when's the last time, you don't even need to go for the goal. You don't even need to go for the orgasm, but like, when's the last time you really just pleasured yourself? And, you know, clitorally, but you can also pleasure yourself in a bath, you know, and just get those massages where they just massage your head for like half an hour and let yourself receive. Like, are you all like nervous when they touch your body in a massage? You never really relax. Like, can you start to do some practices to soften the concern or the fear or what have you that's there? Because a partner who wants to give to you, who's met with that energy, can't get in. And they sometimes take it personally that you're bitchy or that you don't want it, and then they'll blame you, or they just won't be adoring. So it's our job to soften that place, all of that energy, so we can truly receive honoring, safe touch. And if you've been super abused or something horrible, like a rape has happened or whatever, it's important that you do the deep healing work so that you can receive your own love of yourself, and you can get back to that place of internal discernment to know, we women have this intuition, but it does not come from our brain. And if our hearts are shut down in self-judgment, we can't hear it. And if there's shame in our vaginas and pelvis, we can't hear it. And we will get hurt again and again by assholes. Sorry. We just will, because we can't sense it. Nor do we have the connection to our confidence to say, step back, or no, thank you, and be the queen that we are. So on safety, and that's safety for a business deal as well as safety for a personal relationship. It's like safety in general is not found out there. It's in here with this And every woman, I believe, is required to do this internal work so that she owns her grandeur and she can just trust herself and make really discerning choices. And then also have the courage to open and really receive. It's safe to receive support.
Beautiful.
I trust myself. And that support can be, it can just allow you to be so much more delicious. So many of us operate at like 20% of our capacity because we're doing it all ourselves. We're in control, and we have this very small life, but at least it's in control. We have no idea who we are, the totality of us. We have no idea the totality of our creativity, the totality of our radiance, of our inspiration that we can be, because we operate in this safe little crunchy bubble. Be willing to know who you are. Be willing to do the internal work to receive the support and the adoration and the love and the light of being who you really are, so you can have joy with that, but so you can overflow it to this world. That's what we're about. That's what women are about, healing this world with our radiance.
I would love for you to briefly describe the free gift that you're giving away for the audience, and also your website address so people can reach out to you.
Oh, you're so wonderful. Thank you. So my website's allanapratt.com. And I think you have the link for them, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. So they'll go there. It's basically 3 audios for women and 3 audios for men. And you might want to still download the ones for men because it'll help you understand those creatures even better. But there's 3 of them, but I'll just talk about one. It's really about redefining sexuality, as we just said, and that how can we age and really embrace that like a fine wine or like a leather couch over time that's just so yummy to be in, as opposed to every day that we get older feeling worse about ourselves, thinking we're not as attractive as others, giving away our power, judging ourselves, being competitive with others. Like the older we get, it can either be a rough road or it can just be more and more glorious, like the aging of a fine wine. You get to choose. And so this audio is really important to shift that point of view. And you'd be amazed at what you begin to attract when that happens. And there's 2 others for women, and then there's 3 interesting ones for men that I think will help you invite his nobility, his badass nobility, perhaps better than you already are.
I love your energy. I love what you're doing. You've got a lot of sizzle, girl. You have figured it out. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, I can see that you're a magnet. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. You do wonderful things.
I love what I do, and I love to be of contribution, and I love to inspire all of us women to just know who we really are. Because when I walk on like the playground to see my son, like all the kids come running, and I just love them all. And I love, and that's sexual energy too. That's that healing radiance that makes people feel good to be around you. And
Absolutely.
we are all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Allana, thank you so much for being part of this series. It has been wonderful talking to you today.
Likewise.
Have a wonderful day, and thank you again. Be blessed.
You too. All my love. Mwah.
Mwah. Bye.